Hey, what's up guys? It's Frecky from Fleshcraft Studio, and today I am so excited to share you my latest creation from my collection of Children of Kaeron. For those who are new here, I am a 3D creature designer, specializing in fantasy creatures, mostly with an undead theme. And so far on this channel, I have only shown my monthly collection of models, but today I wanted to try something different. So I'm excited to bring you along this journey while I design Kardeross, the Hand of Kaeron. Initially, I had no idea how this guy was going to look, but I'm pleased with the final result. In this video, I will be sharing a time-lapse of my design process, along with my thoughts and ideas throughout. But without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so as you can see, I have this model called the Skinmancer. It's another model coming this month as well. We're going to use that as a base for the rider of this model. We just need to make a couple of tweaks and such. And as you can see, we have this huge base here in the bottom, and that's because that monster is going to be pretty big. So first we're going to make the rider. We're going to make him look a little bit more fancy, a little more badass. And after that, we'll make the monster. Okay? And I would say we're done. I think we're going to make the eyes a bit smaller to give that sunken eye socket feel. As I'm sculpting this mouth, I already decided that I don't like it, so I chose to go along with the shoulder guards, and then I decided I would come back to the mouth later. I really like the new result a lot more. There's something menacing about these Children of Kaeron characters with no mouths. And then I went along and made this back guard that was made of spines. It always gives the characters a little bit more leadership feel to it when they have this huge cape. Most of the other hero characters only had a loincloth, so I wanted to give him more of a fancy skirt. And like any wizard, he needs a staff. I weren't totally sure what I wanted to go with for the top of the staff here, but I wanted to have some kind of globe that was being held by something that looked like a hand, but I think the end result turned out pretty good. Alright, we are done with the rider. We added some pauldrons and this nice bony cape tail. We made this nice little staff for him. So I would say he is done for now. And now we should continue to do the monster. So after chatting with my Discord members, I think we got a concept for the monster. We're going to stick a bit with the theme of Children of Kaeron, with the monsters having a lot of limbs. I don't want him to be riding per se, I more want him to sit on a throne on the monster. So we're going to make this kind of fleshy throne with arms and fingers that he can sit on. And then we're going to have this main body and a lot of long limbs stretching out and making it crawl forward. Let's try blocking something out and we'll see what we get. As I mentioned, going into this monster, I really had no clue what I wanted to sculpt. I looked for a lot of inspiration on Pinterest and also spoke with my Discord members, and they also came along with a lot of good ideas, but in the end I thought, let's just try something. And it's not always like that. Most of the time I have a lot more inspiration I can look at. Sometimes I do some sketches before I start sculpting, but this one I just went in completely blind. So I'm happy how he turned out despite not having any concept art for him. If you are thinking, what the hell is it I'm sculpting, then I'm thinking that too. Sculpting body horror is so subjective. Sometimes, like when you're sitting with something like this, you just have to keep going until you get something, because I know how it looks like right now. So we'll just keep going until we get something that looks cool. The only real thing I was sure about when making this monster was that he is supposed to stand up on it, so I had to make this kind of platform he could stand in, mostly because of his cape and skirt, since they would be hidden away if he was sitting down, so I wanted to be able to show that more. I was starting to think more of this monster as a walking altar of sorts. For a lot of the previous designs, some of my members kept suggesting that I should add big fingers to the model. I always decided against it because I wasn't sure how good it would look like, but this time I tried it out. Ew, that is absolutely terrifying. I like it. So I think we're going to add more of that. These arms, you can see, I'm still not totally sure about them. Okay, satisfied with the heads so far. Or the heads. I need to add something in here. And also something in the back. But so far, I think we are on the right track. I really loved how it turned out. It looks so disgusting. And later I will remove some of the fingers and add more straight fingers just to give that kind of feel where the fingers are tapping along and moving. And also I later decided to remove the rib cage around his head and add fingers instead. And there you go. That looks even more horrifying. I actually had a hard time figuring out how the legs should work, like if they should be feet, if they should be just spikes or hands. And those long arms in the back, I've later chosen to not use them, and then I decided that the back could be more horrifying by adding a ton of humans that is fused to the back trying to get out.
I like it. I like it.
And here I had shown the model to my Discord members, and they suggested that I should maybe add some kind of scythe limbs or weapon of sorts to the front, just so it looked like it could actually defend itself with something. So I chose to add these scythes to the front arms. This creation right here is probably the best chair you could ever get. I mean, look at it. You can sit down here, it's very comfy and soft, and you have lots of fingers to massage you everywhere. So now I just need to sculpt the base a little bit, add some terrain and such, and when I'm done with that, I will start posing. Sculpting these bases for children of Kaeron has always been a bit challenging, because I've decided that the ground should just be made of flesh. I've been able to be pretty creative with each of them. As you can see here, I'm currently sculpting a big pillar I wanted to have in the back, just so the monster had something to crawl over. It always gives this a bit more dynamic pose, instead of just having it to go slowly forward. Posing my miniatures is one of my favorite parts, because it really makes them look alive to me, and it's just nice to have sculpted something and then you actually see it in action. It's kind of like if I rigged and animated it. And because Kardeross was of higher rank, he of course needed some kind of heroic pose. this point I showed the model to my Discord members as well. They thought that I should add some more texture to the skirt, so I added the stitching. Alright folks, we are more or less done with the model now. What I'm going to do now is to decimate it and close some holes, fix some meshes so it can be exported as an STL and later be supported by Table Flip Foundry. This is to make sure that the models actually fit together, because right now they are interacting with the meshes. So I have to subtract so you can actually glue the model in the right place. Hey, you made it! Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was a little different from what you are used to seeing with this kind of stuff. If you like this model, you can always subscribe to my Patreon so you can receive the digital version so you can print it yourself. I release new models every month that you can use for wargaming or TTRPGs. I also have a web shop over on my mini factory, where I upload all the models individually. So if you just want this single model, you can wait until the next month. For Kardeross's case, he will be available to you in May. But that's all for now. Again, thank you so much for watching. You can check all the links in the description below. And until next time, see ya!